Earth was chosen as the next target. Then one message panicked the galaxy. And in this vast network of stars, Earth was almost invisible. Humans were not the strongest. Their weapons were primitive compared to the fleets of the galaxy. Their ships were small and their technology seemed slow. Most aliens looked at Earth and laughed. A tiny blue planet with soft-skinned creatures, easy prey. But intelligence never came with size or strength. Humans had something the galaxy underestimated, something invisible, something that could make even the greatest empires pause: ingenuity. In a distant quadrant, aboard a triangular command ship of the Glathor Armada, officers gathered. Their hull vibrated with energy as a new report arrived. "Command," said Lyran, the communications officer, her three eyes flicking over the display. "The next target is ready. Planet 298C, they call it Earth. Coordinates are confirmed. We can strike in 60 cycles." The room fell silent. The general, a towering being with metallic skin named Kravok, leaned forward. "Earth, are we sure? Reports indicate primitive life forms. No fleets. No strong weapons. This will be too easy." "That is why it is perfect," said another officer, Venmer. "We take it fast, destroy key locations, and move on. Minimal risk." Kravok's voice rumbled. "Humans are weak. They will fall like the others." Meanwhile, on Earth, no one noticed. Cities thrived with ordinary chaos. People argued over politics, rushed through streets, worked in offices, and stared at screens. Technology advanced slowly, but enough to keep humans comfortable. A few scientists looked up at the stars, wondering what lay beyond. Dr. Amina Solis was one of them. She worked at a small space communications lab. Her team was experimenting with deep space signal intercepts, something governments rarely trusted. Every night she would monitor signals from unknown origins, trying to catch flashes of information. Sometimes it was noise. Sometimes it was intelligence from distant satellites. That evening, as storms rumbled across the Pacific, Amina's screen lit up with a strange pattern. Lines of symbols and pulses repeated in ways she had never seen before. She froze. The signal was unmistakably intelligent. Someone or something was speaking. She leaned closer, heart racing. "This is not from us," she whispered. Her assistant, a young engineer named Terk, looked over her shoulder. "Are you saying aliens?" he asked, wide-eyed. Amina nodded slowly. "Yes, and they're talking about us." Over the next few hours, they decoded what they could. It wasn't easy. The language was alien, mathematical, almost musical in tone. But patterns emerged. The aliens were discussing Earth, plotting its destruction. "They're planning to attack," Amina said quietly. "We have no fleets, no defenses, not even a warning system." "If this is real, Earth could be gone in weeks." Terk paled. "We should tell someone." Amina shook her head. "If we panic, no one will believe us. And if the message is traced, they might notice us. We need a way to send our own signal." That night in a small lab under a humming dome, Amina did something risky. Using a powerful deep space transmitter, she encoded a simple message. It wasn't meant for humans. It was meant for the aliens. A warning, a puzzle, a statement that Earth was not entirely defenseless. The message was short, almost cryptic. "We know you're coming. Prepare wisely." It was sent into the void, aimed at the heart of the incoming fleet. Across the galaxy, alien sensors picked up the broadcast. The Glathar Armada's main communication grid blinked with interference. Lyran's three eyes widened. "Command," she shouted. "There is a signal from the planet itself. It is addressed to us." Kravok leaned forward, scanning the message. It was simple, yet impossible. Primitive life forms should not be able to transmit this. The words alone caused unease among the officers. Venmer laughed nervously. "This is absurd. What can they do? Words. Laughable." But as the minutes passed, tension grew. The message repeated in strange ways, appearing in multiple sectors simultaneously. The signal was not just communication, it was intelligence, coordination, strategy. For the first time, the alien officers felt uncertainty. Back on Earth, Amina watched the stars. She didn't know if anyone would respond. She only knew that she had done everything she could. Terk sat beside her, exhausted but proud. "They might ignore it," he said. "They won't," Amina replied. "Not all of them. Some will fear it, and some will start to wonder." And that was the point. Humans were small, weak, untrained in war, but they were clever. They were unpredictable, and in the galaxy, unpredictability could be a weapon stronger than any fleet or cannon. In distant sectors, rumors began. Ships reported odd readings. Signals appeared in unexpected places. Alien commanders argued fiercely. "What is this?" one hissed. "The humans, these insignificant creatures, they know something." "They are bluffing," another said. "It cannot be real." But others were not convinced. Patterns were analyzed, strategies calculated. And everywhere the same conclusion arose. Earth was not as defenseless as it seemed. The Glathar commanders started to question their plans. Their elegant, perfect war fleets could fail, not because of power but because of humans. Humans, for now, lived unaware. Families laughed over dinner. Students walked to school. Cities thrummed with energy. And yet, somewhere in the sky, invisible to the naked eye, fleets approached. Waves of alien ships, countless and powerful, aimed at a planet that could not possibly resist. And yet the humans had sent one message, one small, cryptic warning, and it had changed everything. The alien fleets began to slow. Orders were questioned. Officers argued. Alliances wavered. Panic, subtle but growing, crept into the hearts of even the most confident warlords. Amina and Terk watched the stars, unaware of the fear they had caused but feeling a quiet thrill. "Maybe," Terk said, "we just bought ourselves some time." "Time," Amina nodded, "and maybe a chance. But the galaxy never waits. Even the smallest ripple can cause storms." Somewhere hidden in shadows and strategy rooms, alien leaders began sending scouts. They were cautious, calculating, fearful. The primitive humans were suddenly the center of attention in every council, every fleet, every intelligence network. And Earth. Earth remained the same. Ordinary, vibrant, seemingly weak, but now unknowingly dangerous. The message had done more than warn. It had shaken the galaxy. It had made aliens rethink centuries of certainty. It had shown that humans were clever, unpredictable, and perhaps unstoppable. As night fell over Earth, lights twinkled in cities, oceans shimmered under the moon, and Amina looked up. She whispered to herself, "If they come, they will see. They will learn what humans can do." Unseen by anyone, the alien fleets paused at the edge of the solar system. Orders were delayed. Calculations were rerun. Plans changed. And for the first time in galactic history, a message from a tiny, weak species caused the leaders of great empires to hesitate. The galaxy was watching Earth now, and Earth had no idea how much power it had just revealed. The stars were no longer silent. Across the galaxy, alien fleets began to tremble, not from the strength of humans, but from the shock of what one small message could do. The Glathar Armada, the largest in their sector, halted at the edge of the solar system. Kravok, their towering metallic general, paced across the bridge of his flagship. His usually confident officers whispered and argued. Even the smallest glimmer of fear had reached the highest ranks. "Impossible," hissed Venmer. "They are primitive. They should be easy to crush. Why are we hesitating?" Lyran, the communications officer, replied, her three eyes wide. "Command, I have scanned their transmissions. They are organizing, strategizing. We cannot read all of it, but it is clear. They understand we are here." Kravok froze. The words should have been meaningless. Primitive humans should not have the capacity to anticipate a galactic armada, yet they had. One simple message had made an entire fleet pause. "It is unsettling," Kravok admitted. "Send scouts, double the reconnaissance. I want absolute certainty before we strike." On Earth, the humans remained mostly unaware of the panic they had caused. News of strange signals circulated among scientists, but the general population carried on. Still, in secret, governments and research agencies began preparations, driven more by instinct than by full knowledge. Dr. Amina Solis and her team worked feverishly. The first broadcast had been risky, but now the response it created was more dangerous. She and Terk began constructing systems that could monitor alien movements in real time. They didn't have fleets of ships, but they had brains, computers, and creativity, more than enough to turn the odds slightly in their favor. "We need a plan," Amina said. "If they come, we can't fight them like they fight each other. We have to be unpredictable, clever." "Resourceful," Terk nodded. "Like guerrilla strategies, traps, deception." "Exactly," Amina replied. "We may be weak physically, but we are strong in thinking, and thinking can be stronger than firepower if done right." Back among the stars, the alien fleets argued. Commanders could not agree on a plan. Some suggested a rapid attack, hoping to crush humans before they could respond. Others wanted to wait, to study the planet, and avoid unnecessary losses. Fear had fractured the once perfect coordination of the Armada. Even the smallest alien species began to hear of the message. Some fleets had been on routine patrols, not even aware of Earth before, yet now the panic spread like wildfire. "They are awake," a diplomat said nervously. "They are not just alive, they are watching us. And they understand." One small fleet commander, a nervous being named Harkil, trembled as he watched Earth from afar. "We underestimated them. If we attack, we may lose more than we gain. And yet, retreat is shameful." Across the galaxy, the same thought repeated. Humans are dangerous, not because they are strong, but because they are clever. On Earth, Amina's team implemented their first strategies. They had no weapons that could challenge a fleet, but they had ideas. Satellites were repositioned. Civilian technology was modified to serve as intelligence-gathering tools. Drones were tested for stealth observation. "The aliens will expect normal defenses," Amina said. "We will give them nothing normal. Every move they make we will have anticipated or will improvise against." Terk smiled. "Humans are good at thinking differently. Maybe this is our advantage." "It is more than advantage," Amina said. "It might be survival." The first skirmishes began. Alien scouts approached Earth, expecting an easy assessment. Yet their sensors failed in strange ways. Signals interfered unpredictably. Small drones built from modified satellites and repurposed probes disabled communications. Supply ships went off course. Venmer on the Glathar flagship growled. "How can this be? They have no fleets, they have no weapons." "They are using intelligence," Lyran said, "and tricks we do not understand. This is strategy, not force." For the first time, the alien fleet hesitated. Orders conflicted. Commands contradicted each other. Fear spread. Simple humans with nothing more than clever tools and quick thinking had shaken the confidence of empires. Meanwhile, the galaxy began to notice. Other civilizations that had ignored Earth before were now paying attention. Traders delayed routes. Mercenary fleets reconsidered contracts. Even tyrants of distant planets whispered about the humans who had made the Glathar Armada halt. On Earth, life went on. Families laughed, students studied, cities thrived. And yet, unknown to all but a few, humans were slowly preparing for something far greater than anyone imagined. Amina transmitted another message, not for aliens, but for anyone listening. "We are awake. We will not be passive. Approach wisely." The transmission, simple yet deliberate, spread across galactic networks. Some species read it as a threat, others as a warning, but all knew one thing: Earth had changed the rules. Alien fleets began to test humanity. They sent probes, they launched small attacks. And each time humans responded in ways no one expected. A probe entered orbit, scanning for weaknesses. Instead of shooting it down directly, humans sent it back, altered and encrypted, full of confusing data. It malfunctioned in the fleet's command centers. A small assault ship approached a city. Lights went out in the area, but no explosions occurred. When the ship scanned again, it found fake structures, holograms, and decoy systems. Alien sensors went haywire. Venmer screamed into his communicator. "They are not fighting us." And yet they are winning. In the midst of the chaos, human leaders realized something important. They could not compete with alien firepower directly. They had to use what humans did best: adaptability. Tactics included hiding key systems under ordinary buildings, using satellites to manipulate alien sensors, creating misinformation to mislead enemy fleets, coordinating small, unpredictable attacks on supply lines. Every move was calculated to confuse, delay, and frustrate the aliens. Humanity had no giant ships, no planet-killing weapons. But humans had something aliens could not predict: creativity. And creativity became the deadliest weapon. Across the galaxy, panic spread. The Glathar Armada began to argue violently. Some commanders wanted to retreat entirely. Others insisted on attack. The fleet, once united and unstoppable, was now fragmented by fear and confusion. "They are humans," Kravok growled. "Small, weak, and yet they manipulate our minds without even being present." The term humans began to carry weight. Across star systems, whispers spread. The same species everyone thought insignificant now inspired fear. If one message could do this, what will they do next? Some alien empires sent messages to each other, asking for alliances. Others considered abandoning plans to invade. Humans were proving that they were not just survivors. They were unpredictable, adaptable, and brilliant. On Earth, Amina continued to coordinate efforts quietly. Terk marveled at the ingenuity of humans. "We are really doing this," he said. "We are standing against them without fighting them directly." "Not just standing," Amina replied. "We are teaching them something. We are showing them that intelligence, courage, and unity matter more than size or weapons. That is our power." Humans did not need to know the details of every alien fleet. Their innovations, quick thinking, and unexpected tactics were enough to shake the galaxy. Weeks passed. Alien fleets lingered at the edge of the solar system. Minor skirmishes happened, but humans had already proven they were clever. Entire empires were forced to rethink their strategies. Commands were delayed. Plans were rerun. Fleet movement slowed. Some aliens began to fear humans, not because of physical threat, but because they were unpredictable. No simulation, no strategy, no amount of advanced technology could fully account for what humans might do next. Finally, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Humans were not the strongest. They did not need to be. Their advantage lay in one simple truth: the ability to think differently, to adapt, and to unite when faced with danger. Venmer, trembling on the Glathar flagship, muttered, "We underestimated them. We should have left them alone." Kravok did not respond. His metallic hands clenched. Across the fleet, murmurs echoed the same sentiment. The humans had done what no species in recent memory had. They had forced hesitation, confusion, and fear without firing a single true weapon of war. And on Earth, life went on as usual. Cities sparkled, oceans gleamed, and humans continued their daily routines. And yet beneath the ordinary, extraordinary preparations moved forward. Drones flew silently. Satellites scanned stars. Communications hummed with encrypted intelligence. One small, ordinary species had begun to change the galaxy's perception of power. Amina whispered to Terk one night, staring at the stars, "We have made them doubt. We have made them hesitate, and that is more important than any weapon." Terk smiled. "They will think twice before attacking Earth. And we are just getting started." The alien fleets hung at the edge of the solar system like dark storm clouds. Thousands of ships, each more powerful than anything Earth had ever built, waited. The Glathar Armada's command bridges buzzed with tension. Orders were delayed. Decisions were argued endlessly. Every commander knew one thing: humans were not what they expected. "They are awake," Kravok muttered, his metallic frame rigid with frustration. "They are clever, and they are prepared." Venmer, pacing in panic, hissed, "Clever. They are primitive. How can one species so small cause this much disruption?" Kravok's three glowing eyes glimmered with thought. "Because they do not fight like we do. They do not follow rules we understand. And in that unpredictability lies power." On Earth, the people remained largely unaware of the tension above them. Cities thrived under ordinary sunlight. Children played in parks. Traffic moved through busy streets. But in secret, humanity was preparing. Every broadcast, every satellite, every drone was a piece of a plan only humans could understand. Dr. Amina Solis and her team had been working tirelessly. The first message had caused confusion. The second message had caused panic. Now humans were ready for the inevitable confrontation. They had no massive weapons, no fleets to match alien technology, but they had something more important: ingenuity, creativity, and unity. Terk leaned over the control panel. "We've done everything we can without firing a shot, but if they attack, we have to be ready," Amina nodded. "And we are ready. We do not fight like they do, we fight like humans." The first move came from the aliens. A massive Glathar battleship dropped out of hyperspace near Jupiter, its engines sending shockwaves through the planet's orbit. The bridge of the flagship was tense. Kravok watched as drones scanned Earth. "They have predicted this," he whispered. "Every move we make, they anticipate something." And they did. Humans had anticipated this exact approach. The satellites that had seemed ordinary were not ordinary. They redirected signals, scrambled sensors, and projected false images of entire cities. Alien scanners reported dozens of decoy capitals. Some probes detected entire fleets of ships that did not exist. Venmer stared at the display in horror. "It is impossible. They have no fleets, no weapons. And yet, every move we make fails." The first skirmish began. Alien drones attempted to disable satellites and key communications hubs, but humans used misdirection. One drone approached a city, only to encounter an empty field beneath a holographic skyline. Its sensors overloaded. It crashed. Another probe followed, only to be caught in a web of repurposed satellites, manipulated to create signal interference that spread chaos across the alien fleet. On the Glathar flagship, panic erupted. "They are not just defending," Lyran said. "They are attacking without attacking," Kravok growled, his metallic fists clenching. "Humans are clever, too clever." Across the solar system, alien fleets struggled to maintain formation. The humans' unpredictability had forced them to slow. Every probe, every strike, every command they issued was met with something unexpected. Humans had not even fired a single real weapon, yet entire fleets were frustrated and confused. In secret laboratories beneath Earth cities, scientists coordinated these moves with astonishing speed. They monitored alien signals, anticipated strategies, and created solutions in real time. It was a game the aliens could not play. And the humans, without a massive fleet or planet-killer weapon, were winning. The aliens' next move was more aggressive. Several capital ships dropped out of hyperspace, hoping to overwhelm Earth's defenses. But humans had prepared a trap. Using a combination of stealth drones, encrypted communication jammers, and strategically placed decoys, they caused the alien ships to misfire, collide, and even disable one another. Venmer's voice cracked over the comms. "We cannot advance. Every strike is failing." Kravok turned to the fleet display. Thousands of ships, the pride of the Glathar armada, were scattered, disorganized, and damaged, not by power but by cunning. And Kravok realized the truth: humans were not weak. They were unpredictable, adaptable, and brilliant. Meanwhile, humanity's final message broadcast across every alien communications channel. It was not aggressive. It was simple, clear, and terrifying in its implication. "We defend our home. We do not seek war, but if challenged, we will adapt faster than you can imagine. Across the galaxy, alien commanders froze. Some felt fear, some felt awe. They had expected a weak species. Instead, they faced a race capable of outthinking empires. Harkill, the nervous fleet commander who had first doubted the humans, muttered, "They are not just awake, they are beyond anything we imagined." The climax of the confrontation came in the asteroid belt. Humans had lured the largest alien capital ship into a field of modified mining satellites. To alien sensors, it appeared ordinary, but humans had altered the satellites' frequencies, turning them into precision traps. The capital ship became trapped, its systems malfunctioning, engines failing. Kravok, watching from orbit, could do nothing. "Impossible," he roared. "They have no weapons capable of this." Yet humans had no massive weapons. They had ingenuity, improvisation, and strategy. They turned ordinary technology into extraordinary traps. They turned the asteroid belt, a natural hazard, into a defensive fortress. And they had done it all with minimal loss and maximum efficiency. The alien fleets began to retreat, not all at once. Some commanders could not believe what they had witnessed, but the lesson was clear. Humans could not be underestimated. Even the most advanced armadas could falter against a species that thought differently. On Earth, celebrations were quiet. No one knew the full scale of what had happened. Cities sparkled, oceans glimmered, and ordinary life continued. But Amina and Terk understood the truth. Humans had survived. They had won, not through sheer force, but through courage, intelligence, and adaptability. In alien command rooms across the galaxy, discussions changed. Strategies that once relied on brute force now considered humans carefully. No fleet could attack without first analyzing the ingenuity of the humans. No empire could invade without considering deception, unpredictability, and adaptation. Venmer, shaken, whispered to a colleague, "We underestimated them. We thought weakness meant defeat. We were wrong." Kravok, silent for a long moment, finally spoke. "Humans have changed everything. The galaxy will never look at a small, weak species the same way again." And humans did not stop. They began communicating with neighboring systems, offering knowledge, demonstrating creativity, and showing that cooperation could be stronger than conquest. Their ingenuity had defeated fleets, but their courage and unity now promised alliances. From ordinary cities to hidden laboratories, humans had proven something simple and profound. Strength is not only in firepower. Strength is in mind, courage, and will. Even a small species could shake entire empires with one message, one plan, and one belief in their own abilities. The galaxy's perception of Earth changed forever. Humans were no longer weak, no longer insignificant. They were clever, adaptable, and unpredictable. They had faced the most powerful fleets and emerged unbroken. Dr. Amina Solis watched the stars, thinking of what had happened. Terk joined her, and together they looked at the void beyond. "They'll be back," he said quietly. Amina smiled. "Maybe. But they will think twice before underestimating us again. And next time, we'll be ready." The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were extraordinary. They did not need enormous fleets or planet-destroying weapons. They needed minds that could think differently, courage that could never be broken, and unity that could overcome fear. And in that moment, Earth was no longer just a tiny blue planet. It was a symbol, a warning, a promise. The humans had awakened. And the galaxy would never forget.